Hi, Divine Souls. This is Tamala, your Clarity Catalyst and Empowerment Mystic. Thank you for joining me today. And this is my first Facebook Live for 2018. And I want to really start with a confession. And the confession is 2017, I hid a lot. I was supposed to and encouraged by Spirit and by Source to be more active in vocalizing and presenting myself and my messages out into the public eye, if you will. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. That is as simple as that. I just did not want to do it. And so Spirit let me hide. They're like, okay, that's fine. You don't have to. Well, 2018 is the year of abundance. And they are not allowing me to hide this year. Now, in theory, if I wanted to, of course I could, but they are going to pester me and make sure that I fulfill my commitments to Spirit. And so today's message is one that I really would rather not talk about, but they woke me up in the middle of the night and had me make some notes and told me that today's the day. So I am stepping out and I'm going to be doing more of these in 2018. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tamala. I'm a mother, a grandmother. I'm a psychic. I'm a channel. I'm also a clarity catalyst and empowerment mystic, and I help my clients embody their own empowerment through connection with their own divinity and their own soul. And so this particular topic today is one of the provocateur topics. I'm also a provocateur. I'm called to bring light into the human experience, and that requires us sometimes to bring light to the shadows, and sometimes that's really uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to say and it's uncomfortable to hear, but my promise to Spirit is always to say what I hear them tell me, and so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to be referring to my notes off and on because I don't remember everything they said to me. So the first thing I want to talk about, and the title is The Twisting of God by the Church. And they use that term on purpose. And another confession, I am a God person. I believe in God. I believe that there is a source, a creator of all beings. When I connect to my spirit guides, to all of those that I channel, I do that through first grounding with Mother Earth and connecting to source. So I am, I'm a God girl. I also have a personal relationship with Jesus. I don't call myself a Christian anymore because of what I consider the adulteration of Christianity. For example, something, and this is my personal opinion, you don't have to agree with me, you don't have to even appreciate it, but it is my personal opinion. When people use the term Christianity to stand up for individuals who are potential pedophiles, who rape and assault women, and they do that in the name of God or in the name of Jesus, those are not people that I identify as what I consider Christianity, and so I have chosen to separate myself from that term. Because the media and the people that are on the media have been expressing those points of view under the guise of Christianity, I no longer use that term to represent myself. I consider myself a Gnostic, which means, and I'll read you the definition, Gnosis refers to knowledge based on personal experience or perception. In a religious context, Gnosis is mystical or esoteric knowledge based on direct participation with the divine. And that's what I consider myself, because my connections with the divine and with source are direct. They are powerful, they are important, and they make me who I am. And so I consider myself Gnostic. And this conversation today is going to be a lot uncomfortable. So we're just both going to have to brace ourselves and go for it anyway. So in the Bible, I was raised Southern Baptist, and then my mother converted to Mormonism, so I spent a little time in the Mormon church, and I was raised Southern Baptist. And I spent a lot of time reading the Bible, trying to understand the Bible. And even as a small child, my understanding of the Bible was, where's the rest of it? There's a lot missing. There's tons of information that's not here. And where's the rest of it? And what Spirit was telling me in the middle of the night when they made my list was that they chose the particular scriptures that they put into the Bible to be specifically related to the agenda that they were trying to create. And primarily what was trying to be created was a separation of the feminine, the creation of the patriarchy, and also the narrative, changing that narrative around God to be that you have to go through the church, you have to go through a priest to get to God. And for me, that's bullshit. Everything is a direct relationship with Jesus, with Yeshua, and with God. And it is all about our direct connection to those entities, exclusive of any church or any religious organization or any priest or priestesses. It is a direct relationship. And so what I'm being called today to bring light to is that insinuation of another human between yourself and your own divinity. It's not necessary. You are a divine being. You are made in the image of God. And that means that you are a powerful, creative being. And you can talk directly to God or to Yeshua or to whoever you believe is your higher power. Now, they also removed the feminine. And we see right now a big surge in the feminine archetypes and the feminine awareness and re-embodiment of our own power. And that's coming through standing up for our own sexual independence and standing up for our own sexual sovereignty and our own ability to earn and work and be treated equal pay, equal opportunities, right? And really taking our power back as equal, co-creative, divine beings. And that's really super important for us right now because we are also in the midst of shifting to the sacred union societal construct. So we went from the divine feminine to the patriarchy, and now we're bringing both of those together into sacred partnership or sacred union, which is where we're all going. Now, something else that happened, many of us who are light workers today have past lives where we were affiliated with the church because we do have a very sacred connection to Source, to God, to Yeshua, and to others who are spiritual light beings. And so many of us have joined the church in past lives and served that way. And one of the important things for us to understand, and that I've discovered in doing a lot of my work with the Akashic Records, is that when we joined the church, we took vows. And when we take vows, whether they're vows to God or vows to a religious figure or even vows to a negative being, vows are vows. They are energetic entanglements, and they limit our ability to be co-creative, divine beings. They limit our power. if we take a vow of sacrifice, that means that we are going to be making choices in our experience, even subconsciously, that resonate with the energy of sacrifice. If we make a vow of poverty, which many of us did when we joined the church, then that means that we are going to struggle with never having enough. And it's not just money, though it is money. It's money, it's friendships, it's love, it's companionship, it's anything. Anything can be representative of poverty if it is missing in our experience. And so one of the big things that I do in my work when I'm doing the Akashic record work is I help remove vows that we have made in past lives. So we're able to release those vows. We're allowed to then move into our own prosperity and our own abundance as beings of light, which is super important. Now, they also made God a harsh, judgmental being. And I don't know about you, but that's not the God that I know. That's not the source that I know. Source is non-judgmental, loving, and completely full of unconditionality. But that's not the God that the church created. God, the church created, is a judgmental, harsh, vindictive murderer, to be honest. If you look in the Old Testament, go kill those people. Excuse me, a God that I know, the God that I know, would never tell anyone to go murder other people because God created those people. Why would he want to murder them? So that also was twisted to give us a perception to humanize, if you will, God, to bring him down to something that we as humans could understand and relate to. And the God that I know, the God that Yeshua talked about, that Jesus talked about, was a God of unconditionality, a God of generosity, a God of love, a God of non-judgment, and a God that is always rooting for us to choose the light, to choose compassion, to choose abundance, to choose to align with our own divine manifesting abilities, our own divine creative abilities, our own divine self-expression, our own divine truth and wisdom, right? And so in aligning with those things and with who we are at soul level, we are able to be more connected to God because we resonate more with those characteristics that are God. And they also disempowered people by making God in charge of every aspect of our life. And this was interesting when they were telling me this part, and it was a big aha for me. They made God, this being who sits on a throne somewhere and who is in charge of your life and who says, okay, you get sick and you get healthy and you get rich and you get poor and you have to suffer and you have to die and you have to have this abusive situation, right? That is a hugely disempowering misguidance. That is nothing like what the God that I know would do. But it gave us all an excuse for why things happen to us. Well, God's in charge. He's got this. I don't have to take any action. I can be disempowered. I don't have to follow through. I don't have to make any commitments. I don't have to take action. I can just sit around and blame it on God. And that is not the way that you embody your own power. It's the complete opposite. In my opinion, this is totally my opinion, but in my opinion, there is a God. There is a God who honors us, who wants us to be happy and prosperous and abundant and fulfilled and aligned with who we are at soul level. And that God also wants us to understand our own power. When Yeshua or Jesus walked the earth, he was very clear that the miracles that he could do, we could do too. And even more miracles, he said. And that's because when we align with who we are as children of God, when we align with who we are as divine creative beings, we have access to magical miracles all the time. And it's true. It really is true. But you can't get there from a disempowered belief that God is sitting on a throne deciding what's happening to us. We're the ones that decide what happened to us. And once you know that, once you understand that, once you embody that, you really can take charge of your life. You can take charge of every aspect of your life. And you also can start moving into more connection to spirit, into more connection with your own creative and manifesting abilities, and your own miracle producing opportunities. So let me know what your thoughts are here. I'd love for you to join me on my Facebook page, and you can reach me on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Clarity Catalyst. And so I've just made that a public group, so please go over there and join. There's lots and lots of information that'll be there. Not only these little provocative talks, but also some channeling, some teachings on lots of different information. So please join me there. If you have any questions, you also can email me at info@yourownsoul.com, and I would love to hear from you. And you can visit my website at yourownsoul.com. Blessings. I don't know how to stop. Oh, there it is. Love you.